What is up, guys? Slump here, and today I am bringing you yet another 2017 NFL season preview. Today we're going to be focusing on an up-and-coming team with a very young quarterback who last season showed promise but also was inconsistent at times. A lot of that is to blame on the terrible receiving corps as well as the lack of a run game. On top of that, this Eagles defense, which has a fantastic front seven, a great safety, but lacked in the cornerback positions, and that killed them. Does this team have what it takes to erase the 7-9, 8-8 label from them for this year? What is up, guys? Slump here, and this is my 2017 NFL season preview for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know, I'm not the biggest Carson Wentz fan. However, I appreciate him. I think he has a ton of promise and has the potential to be great. However, you Eagle fans need to calm down. You calling this man the next Peyton Manning is blasphemous. You telling me he's a top 10 quarterback after what he did last season is ludicrous. Y'all need to actually think for a second. I know a lot of that goes to the receivers dropping a ton of wide open passes, receivers tipping it up into the air for a pick, but still, what he did last season was mediocre. This year, however, he has no excuses. I expect him to have a total of 30 touchdowns to like 13 interceptions. If he does not do that, then man, we're gonna have to rethink this Carson Wentz will be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. Now let's talk about the running backs on this team. Like I said, last season the run game was terrible. A lot of fumbles, thanks to Ryan Matthews. He also couldn't stay healthy. And having Darren Sproles as a second back, not really great, okay? So if LeGarrette Blount does not rush for over 1,000 yards, look for the Eagles to invest in a running back early in the 2018 NFL Draft. Now, Wendell Smallwood, he did okay last season, okay? He's going to be a solid backup to LeGarrette Blount, and obviously Darren Sproles and Donnell Pumphrey to come in for pass play situations. So, I don't see a huge improvement for this run game because we all know, okay, even Eagle fans know, Ryan Matthews is talented. He just can't stay on the field, and he has a problem with fumbling. This offensive line is great, so I fully expect LeGarrette Blount to rush for 1,000 yards. If he doesn't, man, running back, here we come in the first round. Let's talk about the tight ends. Last year, the only player anybody in fantasy football used from the Eagles was Zach Ertz. He is a great tight end, okay? He's a top 10 tight end in the league, hands down. Even possibly a top 5 tight end this year with Jordan Reed, facing so many injuries. But even behind him, Brent Selleck, not a bad option. I like the tight ends on this team. The receivers, let's get into that. You guys basically gave Alshon Jeffrey a 1-year deal, a prove-it deal, as I like to claim it is. It can go either great or wrong, okay? Now, let's say Alshon Jeffrey balls out like I expect him to. I expect Alshon Jeffrey to have top 5 fantasy wide receiver numbers. I expect him to have at least 8 touchdowns this season. I know he's not a touchdown machine, but this season he will be. Last season, Carson Wentz relied on Jordan Matthews more than many quarterbacks relied on their number 1 option. Like I said, a lot of that goes on to the terrible depth that the Eagles had last season. But still, this season, Alshon Jeffrey, who I expect to beast it out. And if he does beast it out, you guys bring him back to a mega deal. I'm not going to be surprised if he just relaxed for the rest of his contract, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if this man pulled an Albert Hainsworth on the Philadelphia Eagles. Torrey Smith, coming over from the San Francisco 49ers, he should be playing on the outside for this team. And in the slot, probably going to be Nelson Aguilar. Now, I understand a lot of people like Mac Hollins. I love Mac Hollins, okay? I was on the Mac Hollins hype train far before the draft, man. I wanted this dude on the Chargers badly. But of course, the Eagles did what the Eagles would do and took him before many could even realize he was going to go that early. He is going to be a solid wide receiver for this team for years to come. I truly think he can be a franchise wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. So this year, this receiving core shows a lot more promise and a lot more production for this man Carson Wentz. I have to mention this. Nelson Aguilar, yeah, he's been impressing in training camp, but are you really going to tell me he's going to ball out because of training camp? Sounds suspect to me. The offensive line, man, I'm telling you, this offensive line, top 10 in the league, hands down. From the tackles to the guards, this team has talent, and their starting 5, perfect. You guys even have Stephon and Chance Warmack on the bench, so great. This team is deep on the offensive line. They just need to come together and play as one this year for them to be successful. Now let's talk about the cornerbacks, okay? Man, did you guys get an upgrade or what? First of all, you guys got Ronald Darby from the Buffalo Bills, basically giving up a draft pick in Jordan Matthews. Great. Listen guys, it's easier to find a wide receiver in a draft than it is to find a lockdown corner. Ronald Darby and Sidney Jones are going to be a nasty man cover duo. I'm telling you, man, wide receivers are gonna have their fists against this Philadelphia Eagles team. Great. And behind them you have Jalen Mills, Rasul Douglas, and Patrick Robinson. Great depth. I am loving the secondary for the Eagles this year. I can't even believe they actually had such an upgrade. Safeties, we already know your two main guys. Malcolm Jenkins, top 10 safety in the NFL, number 6 safety in my opinion, and right beside him you guys have Rodney McLeod, a solid safety duo on this team. The defensive line, great, man. I'm telling you, this defensive line is top 3 in the NFL, hands down. Brandon Graham, who's vastly underrated. I've been seeing people saying like, who's Brandon Graham? Brandon Graham is a beast. Just because he doesn't have all the sacks does not mean he's not an elite pass rusher. A lot of that goes on to the cornerbacks, okay? If quarterbacks are getting their throws off at a ridiculous rate, how is he going to get a sack? Explain to me. This season, I expect his sack total to go up, but not that much because he's going to be helping the other guys get theirs. Derek Barnett, who you guys took at the 13th overall pick, he was my number 2 defensive end. I know his size isn't that great, man, but this guy has a high motor, so watch out for him. He might possibly lead the team in sacks his rookie year. Inside, you guys have Fletcher Cox and Tim Jernigan. Fletcher Cox is elite, and Tim Jernigan is above average. So like I said, man, this defensive line is loaded. Not only solid in terms of the starters, but also their backups. Vinny Curry, Chris Long, and Elijah Qualls, all solid backups. So I am loving this team's defense and the depth they have on it. You know, the linebacking core on this team is not really that deep, okay? But Jordan Hicks, top 5 middle linebacker in the NFL. Just gotta mention that. But all in all, guys, this defense has depth everywhere but the linebacking core. I truly love what this defense can become. This defense is an elite defense. I don't know how you can get much more elite than this. This Philadelphia Eagles front office has been doing wonders for this team, and man, is this team going to be enjoyable to watch. The defense is great. The offense finally has some new weapons. We just have to rely on the run game to be above average this year, or even average. An average run game will relieve so much pressure off of Carson Wentz, so hopefully this team can get things rolling and go on pace for a double-digit win season this year. Now let's take a look at the schedule, and by the way, this 8-8 prediction is not my official prediction. It's going to change for the better, okay? I'm going to have this team winning more games in my official NFL predictions. That video is going to be out the first week of September, probably September 3rd or 4th. You guys are going to see it. But keep in mind, this prediction was made around July 15th, okay? So keep in mind, a ton of things have happened for the better of the Philadelphia Eagles. So like I said, the win total will be going up. I currently have you guys listen to the Washington Redskins and Kansas City Chiefs. That is 100% going to change, okay? I don't think I have, like, you guys are going to win one of those games regardless. Even if it's one or both, still. Outside of, you know, the 6 games you guys play against the NFC East, which is a pretty difficult division, if I may add. However, the Washington Redskins, man, they've been battling injuries, have lost key players. So a sweep should be in the play for the Philadelphia Eagles there. The other teams, the Cowboys and the Giants, look for a split, okay? Don't look for much more than that. It's probably going to be a split. You guys are most likely going to go 4-2 in this division. You guys also play against the AFC West, which is a difficult division. However, if you guys come out with a 2-2 record against the AFC West, the playoffs are going to be in play for this team. Also, you guys play against the NFC West, which only has one great team, as we know, and they currently just lost their left tackle. So that might be a win, might not be, especially with the elite pass rush this Philadelphia Eagles team boasts. They're going to prove me right, as I will have them making the playoffs. But yeah, guys, that is my 2017 NFL season preview for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you enjoyed this video at all, make sure to leave a like, and most importantly, subscribe if you are new. Have a good one. Peace out.